What's going on, guys? It's Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today is so exciting. We are going to be talking about this beautiful beast. This is the Old Dominion Knife Works Slenderman. Look at that. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everybody. Okay, first things first. This knife was provided to the channel by the Apex Pass-Around group, and the owner of this knife, who was a part of that group, is the one who actually gave it to the group to take a look at, which is amazing because this is a handmade custom knife. Is none other than the second best Kyle in the world, Kyle Lamphere. Kyle has become a great friend at this point. We talk quite a bit over on Instagram. And yeah, when I first got this knife, if you saw the first impressions of this knife, I was really excited. This thing is one huge, big, beautiful beast of a knife. And me and Kyle share that philosophy in our knives. We both have pretty big hands. He has much larger hands than I do because he's like 6'8". But he likes the big ones. I like the big ones. And this one was, when I first saw his video on it, I was like, what? So anyways, we did the first impressions, and of course I was very impressed, and I told everybody that yeah, this is a custom knife. You know, this is a handmade custom knife. So when I got this on the channel, was not planning on doing anything with this knife other than flipping it around and kind of giving you my thoughts on it. But then Kyle being Kyle, he put in the comments, it's like, if you don't cut your Thanksgiving turkey with this knife, I'm going to come down there and kick your ass. And then, of course, I was like, well, I can't not do it now. So I'm fixing to roll in some footage. It's very quick. Thanksgiving is always crazy. So I'm just going to throw in some footage of me cutting the turkey with this beautiful beast. Check this out. All right, here we go, guys. The Old Dominion Slenderman. Oh. Short work of the turkey. That's what I'm talking about. It was really fun. The family was like, what are you doing? Kind of a thing. And so, yeah, it was a quick little video showing what we did. I was starving at that point as well, waiting for this Thanksgiving meal to take place. But it was so much fun. So, yeah, that was me cutting the Thanksgiving turkey with a hand fucking made custom knife from Casey Middleton. The Old Dominion Knife Works, I will have their website down below. Makes incredible knives. Quite a few different knives that you can actually go get on the books and have made to your specs, and it's really fantastic. This is the first that I've ever handled from Old Dominion Knife Works, and so yes, I am a fan. So as you can see, yes, it's a big boy. This thing has an overall length of 11 5/8 inches. It has a blade length of 5.2 with a cutting edge of right at 5 inches. So longest knife, longest blade that has come across the channel except for one. It has a close length of 6 3/8 inches. What does that look like? Well, let's just kind of put it, there's the Civivi Elementum. So as you can see, it's pretty close to what the Civivi Elementum is fully open. So that should give you a little bit of clarity. This thing is just ridiculously huge. It does have a blade thickness of about 136 thousandths, which is relatively thin considering how big this thing is, and it does come down to about 20 thousandths behind the edge. So, of course, this thing, all handmade, all hand done, hand ground, all that stuff. It is running on ceramic bearings, and it is out of AEBL steel. So, all right. So, basically, this thing, like I said, all handmade. So, the fit and finish that you are going to find on this tells you just by, I can't even get it all in frame here, tells you just by looking at it that this thing was hand done. These are full titanium handles, and you can definitely tell the grooving that is done for the jimping and all that is done by hand. None of this is done with CNC machining. You got this really cool backspacer. See if we can actually get that orange peel look that is also carried over to the pocket clip for the backspacer and little pommel here. Just an amazing, amazing work that he does. This pocket clip is huge, as you can see. If I can get this thing to focus. Come on, camera. What the hell? As you can see, this thing is very long, and it works amazingly in pocket. Of course, if you're wearing skinny jeans, unsubscribe now. But if you're wearing regular pants, this thing does fit in those pants, but there are going to be some pants where this is, maybe too long and it doesn't even fit all the way down in your pocket. So keep that in mind. But the pocket clip really did work amazing. This thing ergonomically, very neutral hand shape, but ergonomically does feel very, very comfortable. You have this jimping here and on the top, which you can feel, and it is maybe a tad bit sharp, but nothing uncomfortable. You also have that same style jimping on the front of the blade, so you can choke up back here and get behind the knife. Just an absolute excellent design for this thing. I am really stoked. And, as far as it being so huge, it carried quite well because the width this way is hardly anything. I mean, I've got a much wider blades. This thing is about, it's less than an inch wide for the width here. So it actually carries quite well. It fits deep in your pocket, but it carries great. The thumb stud is only on the one side. This is a tip-up right-hand carry only, I believe. I don't think you could replace that. No, you can't. So definitely a righty knife. Oh, but the action. This thing is running on ceramic bearings. Did you see that? You get that out of the way. Little shake shut. I love that little ting sound it makes. See if we can do that again. Just amazing, amazing knife. I really have enjoyed it. Now, the only things that you might, some little quirks that might drive people crazy. Now, like I said, as far as fit and finish, you can definitely tell that all this is hand done, which makes it amazing to me. The fact that I just know that somebody with their hands and they're, grinding this thing and putting it together is just an amazing feat, because I'm in manufacturing, and so I know what it takes to make stuff out of, with CNC machinery and whatnot. To do all this by hand just is an amazing feat. As you can see, it is perfectly centered. It kind of doesn't look that way right here, but if you're looking at it to where I am, it is perfectly centered. The action on this thing, I think, was a little stiff whenever Kyle got it out of the box, as such is most custom knives, but as you can see, it has broken in just amazingly, and so it's just so much fun. It's not, of course, a fidgety knife by no means, but when you whip this thing out in your pocket to open up a package, yeah, people pay attention. A lot of people don't like that. I do. I live in a state that it doesn't matter what you carry. You can carry basically anything you want. And so busting this out at work to open up a package or something is something that, makes me happy. You'll be like, whoa, what is that? Well, hell, let me tell you. This is just a conversation starter for me, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So let's go ahead and put up some other knives that are the big guys in my collection, just so you can kind of see, because you guys know, if you're subscribed to my channel, that I like the big knives. Let's see what it looks like against the XM24. It dwarfs the 24. Oh, that's amazing. It dwarfs the 24. What's another big one that I have? What about the Medford DP187? Yeah. What? What about one of my newest acquisitions of big blades, the Midgard Messer Viking? Yep. I mean, come on. This is an absolute beautiful knife, and actually one that I did purchase from Kyle Lamphere. And as you can see, the Old Dominion Knife Works Slenderman is making that one look small. Let's see. What about one of the other bigger knives that I have in my collection? Oh, the Cold Steel 4max. still makes the 4-max look. I mean, obviously, this is called the Slenderman, so it is very slim. But as far as overall length, it does not touch it. The only other knife that I have that that is actually longer than this is one of the cheapest ones that I have. This is the Cold Steel XL Voyager Tonto. So, yep, as you can see, that knife is longer than the Slenderman, but not by much. It's just amazingly huge, and this is definitely better to carry in pocket than something like this. One thing I wanted to talk about, because as you can see, the thumb stud actually sits into the scale more so than any other of the thumb studs that you see regularly on knives. There you go. There's a difference right there. And this really reminds me, and Kyle mentioned this whenever he did his review on it, that it reminds him and me of the CEO by CRKT. As you can see, where that thumb stud kind of sits into the scale, very familiar. And so this is one of those knives that I had to get used to flicking out, but once I did, it flips out like with authority. I actually really like this knife, but it really reminds me of the Slenderman. The Slenderman and that flick out about the same as far as how you have to deploy this knife. And so I think it's a really cool design. I'm not sure if they actually use this for, some kind of a knife to kind of model by. I have no idea, but as you can see, it's pretty similar in the way the overall profile is, the way the thumb stud is inlaid into the scales. So I thought that was very, very interesting, and since I had the CEO, I figured I would bust this out here. But yeah, man, handmade is just something that I know a lot of people are probably not going to. I mean, you could get this thing in a couple of different variations, like I said, since it's a full custom knife. So you're looking at spending anywhere from $650 to probably $1,000, depending on what you want for this thing. So yeah, it's one of those knives that I don't see everybody just going out and purchasing. It's got to be a knife enthusiast, knife collector, somebody like that. Somebody definitely like Kyle Lamphere, who he loves the big knives, and he's got such a wonderful collection that this just made an excellent choice for him to add to it. Just look at the finish on the blade. You can tell. Golly, I'm having trouble with my camera. You can tell all hand ground. Oh, look at this really unique thumb stud. That, yeah, it's a little bit, it tears you up just I could say that. Now that this thing is broke in, it doesn't really tear my thumb up at all, but it is very, very grippy to make sure you get a good purchase to flick it out there. So yeah, I'm really digging that. The only flaws that I really see, there is a couple of sharp spots. This right here inside where the thumb stud does lay in is pretty sharp. Whenever I'm holding it like this, I don't really feel it because my fingers are kind of going over it, but it is kind of sharp there. The only other thing is when this knife is closed, you see there, you can actually, because of the jimping, you can see there that the blade does come up over that. And so, yeah, you are able to put your finger on the blade there. I did not find it a problem in carry or anything like that. I did not, when this thing is sitting in my pocket, I didn't notice anything like that as far as me putting my hand in there to get something out of my pocket, which I actually did not carry anything in the pocket with this knife, but it is something just to be aware of, that yes, the blade, because the blade is as thick as it is and this handle is as thin as it is, it does pop up there. And so it is a possibility for you to grab yourself and possibly cut, maybe just poke yourself with that, but not a huge deal, especially for this big, beautiful, I just absolutely love what they have done with this knife. This 5-inch cutting edge and a 5.2-inch blade is just a massive little pocket sword. Look, I can get 2 hands on it. It's a pocket sword in the sense, and I love it. I absolutely do. I know not everybody will, but goodness gracious, is this thing fun to carry. So thank you so much, Mr. Kyle Lamphere, for allowing me to have this in my possession and check it out, because this was amazing. These kind of knives get my blood pumping, and I really, really do appreciate him. I appreciate the Apex Pass Around group for allowing me to be a part of it, because there's such a great group of guys, and I love them all. Please stay tuned for more. We have a lot more coming. Hit that subscribe button, notification bell if you like to see this kind of stuff, and stay safe in this crazy world that we are living in, and we will see you in the next one.